Hey guys, welcome to Adam Fitness with Coach A. I am, of course, Coach A, and this is the YouTube channel that aims to bring you guys in-gym quality coaching and workouts for your at-home or garage gym needs. Now, today is day number 234, and we are looking at the second movement of our new strength or improvement cycle, first week of that work today. So without further ado, here is your programming for today. The strength work is going to be that programming, the 5 rounds of 5 to 6 Barbell RDLs. Remember, whenever we have a range like this, especially for strength work, the goal is to find a weight that is maximizing quality movements in that 5 to 6 rep range. Meaning that ideally at a 7th rep, our mechanics would deteriorate and we would start to get sloppy to the point where we're not interested in doing those reps. All right, so we're looking for as high quality and as high intensity of work in that 5 to 6 range in terms of the weight as we can muster while still maintaining a quality component. Now you're going to have a full minute and a half rest in between those rounds. Take your time, take your rest. We want to be able to get as many of these rounds in as we can with good accurate movement for the hamstrings so that we're not beating ourselves up. We're not trying to do something in a deadlift position where we don't really have the room for air, right? An RDL is something that needs to be accurate. We need to be really targeted on pushing back into those hamstrings to get the hips through. Now, workout for today, we are looking at 2 4-minute AMRAPs. I didn't write the second one down there just because I wanted to save a little space. So the first 4-minute AMRAP is going to be 15 Russian kettlebell swings. I want you guys to choose a regular weight for this. If you happen to have 2 different kettlebells, a heavy one and a regular one, go with that normal regular weight. Let's not go with something heavy so we can keep repping through these. Now that second movement, it's 10 reps. It's going to be 5 each side, and it's called a reverse lunge plus step up. That is probably going to be something you guys might want to stick around for and watch me do it in the video. Basically, you're going to stand at the front of a box. You're going to step back into a reverse lunge. I want the front leg in that lunge to be the leg that is then going to step up onto the box. So when we do the right side, so to speak, the right hip is the right leg is the one that's doing both pieces of work for the reverse lunge and the step up. Okay, so the back leg will always be the back or lower leg on that side. Now, you guys are going to take a 2-minute rest, and then you're going to repeat another 4-minute AMRAP with the reverse lunge steps and step ups. And instead of the Russian kettlebell swings this time, we are going to do ball slams. So the reps will stay at 15, but the movement changes from the swing to the ball slam. Obviously, there's a little bit of thought component that has to go into this. It's going to be a little tricky to get those reverse lunge steps and step ups right away. The idea is that you're stepping back into that lunge, getting a lot of hip work. The step up on the box, I want you guys to be at least knee to hip height. Okay, so those should be think of it like a parallel thigh if your foot is up on the box to the floor or the top of the box, however you guys want to look at it. But the idea is we're working the hips, and then we are coming up and working the hips again, that second rep right away, and also getting a lot of quad work in there as well. All right, so stick around if you guys want to see demonstrations and modifications. I will go over everything in a second. All right, RDL time. Let's get to it. So we're looking at 5 rounds. We're going to start this first actual week of work with 5 to 6 reps each round, guys. So I want you to try and load the weight up to that. Now, again, the movement focus here is on pushing directly back into the hamstrings. I'm almost thinking about taking the bottom of my butt cheeks and driving them back to the wall. Once I get to that point where the bottom of the hamstrings are pulling nice and tight, I'm going to push through that tension, and then I'm going to squeeze the glutes to come back through. So while, yes, I am moving up and down vertically, I'm personally thinking this is more of a back to front type movement. For somebody with super flexible hamstrings, don't forget we can always expand our range of motion a little bit by getting those feet out a little bit wider and staying just as aggressively as we would on our stance and our ability to push back into the hips. All right, guys, Wednesday WOD time. Let's go through the work we have here. We're looking at a 4-minute AMRAP to start. The first of the 2 movements is going to be that Russian kettlebell swing, making sure we're focusing on receiving with the hips and extending and throwing that weight back out with the hips. Really important here. I want you guys to almost do this like the full target is the hamstrings and the glutes with 0 attempt to put stress on the lower back. That'll kind of zone us in and tune this up. Now,
The reverse lunge step to the step up. The front leg's going to be the same. The back leg's going to be the same on the reps. So notice how the right leg goes back, the left leg goes up. The left leg was forward when the right leg went back, right? So right knee's back. That means the left leg's going to do this rep. So if that right leg goes up, I'm in a bad spot. Essentially, what I want you to focus on here is that you have to change the foot that's down in front. So the left foot's back, the right foot's in front. The right foot needs to stay in front as I go up onto that box. So it's not going to feel like a normal, natural rhythm. It's going to feel like you're doing an extra step, which you are, which is the point of this. Oh, now right foot in front, right foot's got to go up. Right foot lunges, right foot steps up. All right, now we have ourselves a 2-minute rest before we hit another 4-minute AMRAP. This time, the AMRAP is going to start with 15 ball slams instead of 15 Russian kettlebell swings. Not the ideal ball to be doing the slam, but I can use it nonetheless. I'm just going to focus on the amount of power I put into the floor instead of trying to get a good bounce, because it's probably going to be an overbounce when it comes to this. And then we are back into that same setup on the lunge and step up. I want you guys to focus on alternating sides when you're going through this, by the way. Stay tuned for movement modifications. Merry mod time, everybody. Sorry. So we're looking for our modifications on movements. We're going to start with the RDLs. Pretty much any instrument you guys have we can utilize here. This is going to be a 2 dumbbell version. Notice, again, the mechanics are the same. I'm focusing on keeping those dumbbells in front of the shins, in front of the knees. One of the things I want you guys to focus on here is even if we adapt from a barbell to whatever, we're still trying to keep that aggressive flat back, and we're still trying to hold those shoulders in a good position so they don't roll us over. I actually didn't have any tension in my hamstrings there because I broke that chain at the lats. Now, kettlebell, also an option. Whenever we have a single object like this, though, let's keep it in between the knees or directly in front if you want to think of it that way. I'm still going to stay with 2 legs on that. You can use a ball. All kinds of different ideas here. Theoretically, this is still going to give me a decent amount of work because I felt a decent amount of pull in the hamstrings even though I had a ball. When it comes to the band, I'm going to have you guys do this under the feet. I don't want you to do a good morning for the RDL portion today. Let's do an actual RDL with those bands. Even if we need to really hammer a tempo and increase the reps a little bit, that's fine, because you're going to see this band possibly come back later here. Now, yay, thumbs up. Moving on to the workout portion. Let's go over the different options here for modifying things. One of the best ones I like for the Russian twist is taking that band, attaching it to a, let's call it a hypothetical, maybe a bar or something, an anchor point back there, and doing those banded push-throughs just because it forces you to ground your feet so aggressively and use your glutes. This is where I would like you guys to do the good mornings, is instead of the Russian kettlebell swings in the workout, if you're going to end up utilizing especially a band for both pieces. Now, keep in mind, the dumbbell swing, while I don't necessarily love it, is always an option here. I probably would stay focused on not having the combination of both of those dumbbells way more than the kettlebell you would normally use, though. All right, so that's going to be our Russian kettlebell swing modification. This is going to be our lunge and step up modification. Let me make sure I have enough space here. I got to slide around a little bit. We're going to stick with the reverse lunge, guys, and then we're going to go into a forward lunge, okay? So similar movements, a similar movement pattern. If you can elevate that front foot, I would love to see that, even if we're talking about like you stepping onto a 25 or 45 pound plate, maybe even a step, honestly, at home. Anything along those lines is going to be something that's going to be beneficial for this. Now, let's get into the ball slam. Obviously, if you have an instrument that you can slam, we're going to slam it, right? If we don't, I'm going to show you guys a couple of modifications here. The first one being with a band hanging from something overhead. It's basically just going to be an abdominal pull down, right? I'm trying to find a place where I can anchor it. I can anchor it at the front of the shoulders there. I can hold it down and get a little bit of lat in it, so it's almost a bit of a pullover, a dumbbell or a kettlebell pullover with the shoulders and the lats and the chest there. Keep in mind you want to be really accurate on that. One of the other options we can do here is a ski erg. If you guys have that at home, I would pop it on the calories and probably even just keep it the same, maybe 10 to 15 calories, somewhere in that range. And then the tuck crunch is going to be the last modification I'm going to go over here for the ball slam.